Welcome back to another race of F1 Total Division 1 for the second to last race here around Belgium. And today I am joined by BS Gabri. Hello.
Hello, Sally, and hello, everyone. I'm glad to be back in the commentary box after a few weeks of break. And so, yeah, Belgium, the penultimate race of the season. And as you can see, we have a wet qualifying session just like we had in Division 2. It was a very exciting race with a lot of things happening. And well, yeah, Belgium is a track with a very high chance of rain, and we can see that today. So we will see who's going to be on pole because it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, and one big major thing for today is that the championship leader, kart racer, isn't racing today. He could have had the chance to close the championship, but he isn't racing. So Felix, who is currently 25 points behind the championship lead, is or has the best opportunity to close up. And if he wins this race, he can be tight on points going into Abu Dhabi, or even being a point in advantage if he grabs the fastest lap with it.
Now, as it stands for the Constructors' Championship though, only Red Bull and McLaren are the teams contending for the championship. McLaren staying 38 points behind Red Bull, and we have only one main driver for both teams, with Pinky from Division 2 reserving for Red Bull and Phantom Fox reserving for McLaren. So all Red Bull needs to do to win the championship in this race is to gain 6 points, because if they tie at the last race, Red Bull will win on countback. So just 6 points in the race of today.
I will just send the link into Discord so everyone can join in. If I found the channel. Jesus Christ. So there you go.
In the meanwhile, Nemesis in the Ferrari is gonna be the first driver to start the first lap of this qualifying session. Nemesis being third in the Drivers' Championship, but out of contention to win it. But still has done an amazing job this season to have this P3, and it is also very far from Jeremy's P4. So yeah, very job from Nemesis. Now, as he approaches Sector 1, it's a 31.8 in the first sector for now. We'll see how it's gonna go with the other drivers as well. Although I don't know exactly what times we should expect with the rain.
Considering that we had full wet on Wednesday, I actually don't remember the pole time, but we can expect going down by 2 seconds or something. So I think a 150, but I might be wrong as well. I have something in mind.
The pole in Division 2 was around 1 minute and 58, and
was it?
So the interest, yeah, around that. Interest, I don't know, maybe just 3 seconds faster.
Yeah,
I don't think there's
we can expect times at around 1:55, 56, as Finlay
have a crash.
at the beginning of Sector 2 crashes out and is out of qualifying after just 5 minutes into this. But Nemesis completes the first lap time. It's a 1:53.6, so we are a lot under our expected time. So Blackberry Hall follows up in a 1:54.5, and Marco is second behind, 1:55, as Felix sticks himself between them. Folsom P4 55.0 and Eneli Mortal completes the lap in P4 currently. Then there is a Red Bull of Jeremy, who will close the lap now, and it is a 1:54.8.
Haas has no main drivers attending today, so they're completely relying on the reserves, and already one of them is out of the session, so not great news for them, since they are also battling for the best of the rest. They're currently in P4 with a very close fight with Aston Martin and Mercedes. So yeah, not great news if they want to keep that P4 at the end of the season.
It is indeed. There is the second Red Bull of Pinky, who is going into the bus stop, goes a bit wide there in the entry, takes the curb on the exit, and now goes full throttle and completes the lap. It's a 55.5 and sticks himself into P7. Then there is Ferrari of Kevin, who has invalidated his lap time, so he will restart again. But Nemesis, who isn't, no, he's not on a fast lap. Same goes for the guys behind. But PC Willy is currently on a hot lap. Currently without a lap time, sitting in P12 with the AlphaTauri.
And Felix jumps to P2. Oh, never mind.
Falls.
Foles goes into P1, 3 tenths from Nemesis.
It's provisional pole for Foles as of 53.3, as Jeremy follows him up 2 tenths behind. So P2 for Red Bull, and now there is PC Willy. At the exit of the bus stop chicane will settle his first lap time of the session, and it is P2. It's a 53.4, so massive first lap by PC Willy, who goes into his first row.
I think the rain is getting lighter a little bit. I don't find it as big as it was before, so maybe both weather and track evolution will play a big factor through the last minutes of the session. Maybe we'll see drivers doing the last lap completely improving by seconds, so we will see.
Yeah, that is. I expected the driver put on the car a bit more fuel for a few laps and then make like 2 or 3 hot laps, one after each other. But everyone who set a time yet just made one flying lap and then went straight into the pits. I don't know why they did. Maybe because of the battery, or if the rain is becoming lighter and affecting the conditions. Yeah, we will see in the course of the last 9.5 minutes.
So almost 9 minutes left into the session of the Belgian Grand Prix at the circuit of Spa-Francorchamps. 19 corners, 7 kilometers and 102 meters of elevation change. It is a favorite for drivers and fans alike. It is my favorite track as well. What do you think of this track, Sally?
It is a classic for Formula One. It is a classic track to race on, and always provides good racing in the game or in real life. So yeah, there was some talking in the past that Belgium will be removed from the calendar for some other tracks, but I hope they don't, because it's always spectacular to watch races here, and I guess also for the drivers is a very, very cool experience to race here.
Indeed, I completely agree with what you said. We sincerely hope it doesn't get removed from the calendar. But anyway, back on the qualifying session, Pocho sets his first time with a 53.8, is in P6 for now. And the only drivers to have not set it up are Kevin, who is currently pushing, and Shamul and Jonathan on the route lap.
Yeah, we can stay onward with Kevin, who will approach the first sector time. It is 32.0. It shows on the map that's purple sector 1, but we all know the game that it is not always true. It sometimes just show the purple time from the guys that you see on the top left on your leaderboard when you're on board driving. So yeah, we will see if Kevin can hold the lap together and where he can put himself with the already updated Ferrari from Monza this year. So they've done it really quickly, to be fair. But yeah, Kevin
suddenly this livery is gonna get removed in a few days because it's not there anymore in real life.
It's also purple in sector 2, apparently. Now approaching.
Let's also remember that Kevin uses full traction control, which is quite overpowered in the rain. There's like no room for mistakes on losing traction out of accelerating. So he also did a good qualifying in Division 2. So we'll see right now.
It is a 52.9. What a lap by Kevin! Okay, I'm a bit surprised from that because I was almost with him. It was a clean lap without any further mistakes. Pocho is up into second place, so I guess the track is in a major evolution right now. Nearly everyone is in the pits. Jonathan is setting a lap time. Shamul is I don't know if he crashed out or at least he retired, so he will start in at least in P14. But let's see, Jonathan, purple sector 2. If he also gets a massive time, then yeah, we all know the track is evolving quite heavily. But yeah, currently the 52.9 from Kevin is the time to beat. Jonathan goes into the bus stop chicane, and now careful on the throttle, and it is P4, a 53.4, second row for the Mercedes driver. So I don't know if it was just a masterclass from Kevin or if the track is really on an evolution. But everyone is in the pits, and I guess they will just wait for 1 or 2 minutes and then go out for the last flying lap of this qualifying. Immortal meanwhile has disconnected but rejoined back. So yeah.
Also, Shamol disconnected. His lap time was just deleted out of nowhere.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah, he's down to P15.
Yeah, he hasn't set a lap time, I think.
But he did before, I think.
Okay.
Maybe what could have happened, because we've seen that before, just drivers disconnecting, but the game mistakes that disconnect as a DNF. So now the game thinks Shamol hasn't set a single lap time and just put him all the way back into P15.
That would be quite a shame, to be fair. Yeah, we will see what happened, as Phantom Fox and Pinky, and Jeremy are, and Pinky also, are on outlap right now for the last flying lap of this qualifying session.
Okay, so I checked the stream. Shamul didn't set a lap, but still it was disconnected and the game just made him retire. So
okay, yeah, that's a shame. It's unlucky for him. And yeah, so he will start in P15. Unfortunate for him, but yeah, there's nothing to do against it, as now most of the drivers are now coming out of the pit lane with 2.5 minutes to go, so they don't have plenty of time. So Jeremy will be the first one on a flying lap with the number 5 of Sebastian Vettel in the Red Bull. It's a thing you love to see. But there you go, Jeremy starts his hot lap. Let's stay on board with him and see how much he can bring the Red Bull in front.
The rain seems even lighter now, so maybe we will see a major improvement. It's currently 6 tenths behind Kevin on pole position. We'll see if that goes down. Maybe we won't see in Sector 1 since it's pretty much a straight, so we'll have to wait Sector 2 for that.
But he's up by 3 tenths already in Sector 1, so yeah, the improvements are big. And now though there is a big slide for Jeremy, little moment, but he kept it. Shouldn't be a big time lost for him anyway. But now the most tricky part of this track. Now going down into the famous Puon. That's also one of the most trickiest corner of this track. And he kept it clean. And now there is a smart in front, and he hope he doesn't stay in the way. But let's see, how much is he improving after Sector 2? Here, 1.5 seconds. And also, who's this guy we have? Phantom Fox is improving by 2 seconds. So yeah, the track evolution is massive. And now Jeremy has to be careful because there is big traffic in front. Everyone wants to start the hot lap. Blackberry Hall is somehow staying in the way and holding up Jeremy for a bit, but it will be provisional pole for now for Jeremy with a 51.2. But now that's just provisional, because now everyone is starting their laps, and now you will see over time who will come out at the top. Phantom Fox is in second, a 52.0, 8 tenths behind Jeremy. Kevin is the leader of this group.
Right now, the first one to cut across the finish line will be Falls in the ass. He is improving by 2 seconds out of Sector 2. So he's gonna jump up to the front as well.
As it stands, he is not passing Blanchimont, and now going to the bus stop chicane. Wolf Falls grab pole position. The rain has stopped, so the guy who is at the back of the field has the best track conditions. 50.6. The track is getting better and better. So let's see Kevin. Kevin currently sitting in 4th place. Going into the last chicane. And now all the way down to the finish line, and it is a 51.3. Next one is Alpi, and now the times are flying around. Pocho in 2nd place. Now then there is Marco in P6 as Felix as PC Willy grabs pole position, but Nemesis and Jonathan are still into some to put a lap time 50.1. It's P3. Jonathan will cross the line soon. It is P5 for him. Blackberry Hall has spun, so it is indeed pole position for PC Willy. Pole position for AlphaTauri with Felix right behind him. What a qualifying that has been, as PC Willy grabs pole position here for the Belgian Grand Prix, Felix in second place, then there is Nemesis in third, Foles in P4, Jonathan in fifth, Jeremy in P6, Poitras P7, Kevin Carl in P8, Phantom Fox P9, Marco completes the top 10, Big P11, Blackberry Hall in 12th place, NLI Mortal in P13, Finlay and Sean Moore in 14 and 15, both haven't set a lap. So yeah, that's it for this qualifying session, and we are going right on to the start of this Grand Prix. We need to remember Felix needs to score points in any sort. Obviously, the more he scores, better it is for him. And it is a dry race.
Yeah, I was being told by the drivers that the race was going to be dry. Although in Division 2, the game weather forecast wasn't quite precise, since it predicted, just said, a dry race with just a little bit of rain that wasn't even for inters. So it looks dry for now, but maybe we'll see.
Yeah, since we're waiting here for the drivers, I can just throw a off-topic event that's going on there, as Inter won 5-1 against Milan. I just looked at it and I've noticed that. But yeah, we are here for Formula 1 racing. We're just waiting for the drivers to ready up so we can go into the second last race, and there it is, 5 red lights over drivers. And it's lights out, and away we go. Decent start by PC Willy, also already followed up by Nemesis, who goes down the inside of Felix and PC Willy, and who has better traction now? It is PC Willy, has the inside line going up into Eau Rouge, and Nemesis sticks behind, is up into second place, but now with the slipstream he can try some attacking moment, as it is Pinky. No, it's not Pinky, it's Phantom.
Phantom Fox! He lost it out of rally, he's into the wall, and we have a virtual safety car. That is horrible news for McLaren, which is gonna leave Felix with a lot of work to do if he wants to keep McLaren in the constructors fight, with Phantom already out on lap 1.
Yeah, and in terms of strategy, there is a lot of mixed things going up, a lot of drivers on softs. The normal race strategy is a soft medium, it is actually possible. A few are on mediums, and Nemesis is the only one on hard compound tires. No, we're together with Finlay. I've missed him. But yeah, Phantom, I don't know if there was any contact, at least he lost it on the exit of Rodion. So yeah, there is again green flags and the race is on again. So PC Willy is still in the lead with Nemesis following up, and now Felix tries around the outside of Bloschimo, a little bit of contact, and Felix has the inside and needs to pass Nemesis. He has the tire advantage, and he does, and also Jeremy tries to sneak himself to Markus Bonn. He did indeed, so not the ideal start for him as well, as Phantom Fox just wrote in the chat that he has been rear-ended going up into Eau Rouge, so very unfortunate for him. So now there is PC Willy versus Felix. Maybe Felix can have a run on the AlphaTauri, taking the slipstream, but seems like he's staking behind, as Jeremy is right behind him. He wants to help his non-attending teammate as far as he can. Oh, there's PC Willy! PC Willy lost it! Under braking!
Oh no!
he braked a bit too late or a bit too much. I haven't seen it properly, but he lost the rear end, and now Felix is in the lead. NPC really found himself into P7. He kept it out of the wall at least, but that is heartbreaking for him. So now Felix versus Jeremy versus Foles, and hold the train behind. DRS will be activated next lap, and then the overtakes will start soon. But Jeremy is a guy who doesn't want to wait too much. He's having the run, but he is actually braking a bit to just make sure to stay behind Felix. So now, lap 3, fastest lap for Foles, 46.0, and now the DRS will be opened, or is open now. So Jeremy can have a run on the Camel Straight, which is the best opportunity to overtake. He probably can overtake Felix even without DRS, but now the flap on the rear is open, but there is Foles and Nemesis, who both are trying to sneak in front of Felix, which they does. Foles is behind of Nemesis and tries to follow up on Jeremy, so Felix has lost 3 places within one straight, but he retakes the position of Nemesis. So yeah, a
good start so far, gaining 5 positions from lap 1, and he's also using the soft compound, so he needs to extend this advantage as soon as possible, just to try and defend from the guys behind him who are all attacking him. They will not give up. There is a lot of battling pretty much everywhere, from the top to the midfield to the bottom, and it is great to see. But now let's remember there is DRS, which Foles and Felix will definitely use to their maximum right now. They will use it out of the bus stop, but then we all know that the Camel Straight is the main spot for our taking, and we are approaching lap 4 right now, and we will see even more position getting changed with just how many cars are so close to each other, just battling and chasing so much.
Is indeed, Jeremy needs to use his tire advantage as much as he can, but there is a massive DRS string going from first all the way to P13. So everyone apart from Marco are in this DRS train. Now Felix, DRS open, goes for the inside line. There is nothing to do for Jeremy. Can Foles also sneak himself through? No, he is a bit too far off. So Felix regains this first place for now, with Jeremy in second and Foles in third.
Foles just wasn't quite in the range of battling side by side through the combo, so he's gonna have to just follow and wait for now. And in terms of tire strategies, up to the front, Nemesis is the only guy with the hard tires beside Finlay, but he's in P13. So Nemesis, maybe he's gonna try to do a long stint, just to try and not have so much tire wear and being conservative through the race. So I don't think he was to push too much. Maybe he just wants to keep it consistent, and maybe he'll gain the positions with the pit stops.
Yes, Jeremy nearly went off the 1 second gap. He managed to stay inside, but yeah, the softs will probably last around 9-10 laps. So yeah, probably the first drop-off point from the tires, the first cliff of the tires, will come soon, which will lead in a slight pace loss for Jeremy, but that doesn't affect him yet, as he passes Felix once again to take the lead. And Foles staying behind patiently, as everyone behind do, as PC Willy did the same mistake again. So now he is down into P13 after starting in first place. So yeah, not the best start for the AlphaTauri, starting on pole. Now after 5 laps he goes down into P13.
The soft tire compound will indeed last around 9 to 10 laps, but we are already 4 laps in, and at this point the mediums will already be faster than the softs. So I think Jeremy's advantage in pace is pretty much over, and they're pretty much equal with Felix for battling. So they're all saying just 1/10 behind each other, so that the battling is just so close, and Felix needs to gain as much as possible. He's not gonna give up for the first position, which is all he needs to do to have a chance at the championship fight with Kart Racer. Just one win, and they will be equal on points at the last race in Abu Dhabi.
It is indeed a mandatory win for Felix, and he knows it, so he opens up the DRS once again, makes up the move on... Oh, there was a little contact between Jeremy and Foles. There was... I don't know, Jeremy just went into the side of him, but that gave Felix a major chance to pull the 1 second gap as Pocho.
And we have a full court safety car.
There he is on the right side on the wall, and there it is, a full course safety car. And this will be nearly perfect for every soft runner. It is perfect for every soft runner, yeah.
This will be a major game changer. We'll see if the drivers are gonna come in to put the hard tires and try to last until the end, because it is possible, but they will have insane tire wear towards the last laps. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they choose.
If you would be in Felix's situation, what would you do?
Well, it's pretty much a borderline situation, because you can dare with the arts, but it's very difficult. So, but he's pitting.
He's pitting. He's pitting, and he will probably go for hard compound tires, because the soft. Or is he? Let's see. He is going for the hard compound tires, yes. So he still sticks with the one stopper, but now he has the tire disadvantage towards him with Jeremy, who has been jumped by Foles, and Sean Moore stayed out. Sean Moore stayed out on the soft compound tires. So this will affect some things in some ways. Yeah, lap 7 out of 22. Sean Moore is leading this Grand Prix with Felix and Foles right behind him, and the rest of the pack, everyone already pitted. And the field was pretty close, so maybe we will see one lap of safety car, maybe, if Marco is approaching the safety car pack soon. So we will see. But
not
the tire,
the Marco's choice for Shamul, because the pit window for soft is around lap 9, and by the time the safety car will come into the pits, it's gonna be time for Shamul to change his tires. So the most he can do is try to hold back Felix just a little bit, but the tire advantage will be so much in favor to Felix that Shamol will just drop down so quickly compared to the rest of the field.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't understand this move by Shomu. If he will be on mediums or hards, I would understand it if he stayed out, but not on softs because yeah, we are 2 or 3 laps from the usual pit window, and safety car stays out. But yeah, Shomul has he's hoping for something, and yeah, it will pay off if he managed to get another safety car within 1 lap or something. But yeah, he goes to the pit now.
Oh, he's pitting now.
Yeah, he's pitting now. So maybe he's seen his mistake and maybe will use the safety car to just be at the back of the field, but still on the pack. Yeah, goes down into P15. The safety car is not even up into Eau Rouge.
I'm guessing that he pitted now just so that he would have a little bit of advantage compared to the guys in front, but it's just so marginal. It's only 1 lap, so
yeah, it is like
I don't know.
1 or 2% on the tires, which shouldn't affect much things. But if he did the mistake, then it was the better choice to come in now. So at least he's on the back of the field, but at least he is right behind the pack and not like 20 seconds away. So he's done the better choice to save his mistake. Well, Felix now is again, yeah.
I do think that everyone will try to go until the end with these tires. It
Yeah.
will be very hard for the medium runners because they will have insane tire. They might just go over 60% towards the last laps. So maybe they're gambling for a late safety car and just trying to be faster in the first laps.
I don't think they have such an issue because the usual strategy is a soft medium, or a soft medium is possible, and since if you start on medium on softs, the pit window is around lap 9 or 10, so the tire wear won't be that much as usual.
But it will definitely be higher than the hard, so the hard runners will give it everything toward the last laps.
That's for sure. So the hard compound will pay off at the last runs of this race. Well, yeah, safety car will come in this lap. Felix is leading the pack and controlling the speed. He is doing a pretty fast restart, but now he's gone. No, he's not yet. Now he's gone, and he's done a brilliant restart. Foles, yeah, wasn't really prepared for that move, and now he has Jeremy right behind. But now Felix goes
already from the restart, and let's remember we won't have DRS for the next 2 laps, so Foles has to give it everything to stay in the second gap so that he can attack later.
And the setups also play a big role. You will see if they all run the same setup, so if someone has lower wings, and yeah, it affects obviously on the straight line speed, but you will lose a lot of time here around sector 2, which is the most tricky sector on this track, and Felix already has a second gap on Foles. This is what he needed. This is what Felix needed to pull the pressure away from behind. If he managed to even pull a bigger gap lap by lap, it would be such a good chance for Felix to run away, because yeah, Jeremy has the tire advantage, but he firstly has to pass Foles and then catch Felix, and now he can fully concentrate on him in front. But Jeremy doesn't want to lose too much time as he passes Foles already. But now let's see, can Foles answer him? It's a 44.7 fastest lap of Felix, already 1.7 seconds in front of Jeremy, but he will probably catch by now. But let's see, it depends on Foles and Nemesis if they fight or try a move on Jeremy, but Foles seems to be too far behind. But Nemesis is having a brilliant run, passes Foles, but he's a bit too far away from Jeremy, so he sticks up into third place.
Tire advantage for the mediums compared to the hards. We last around 5 laps, so we're not too far away for the tire compass difference to show some signs. So Jeremy has about 2 laps left to try and get into the gap, but Felix is still doing an amazing job keeping that pace and just getting far away as much as possible. He's doing a great job, but he just needs to keep it consistent and maybe very probably win the race if he keeps it up.
Yeah, Felix knows how important it is to grab the complete 25 or even 26 points on this weekend. He has to use the non-attending from Kart Racer, and if he does, then it will be 2021 all over again, with 2 drivers being tied going into Abu Dhabi. But we have still half a race in front of us, so everything can happen. But Felix is slowly gapping Jeremy in 1.3, so the gap is staying the same. But Nemesis can have now a run on Jeremy, and he will have. What a massive overspeed he has. But look at him go, and he's now in the DRS of Felix, which doesn't have much ERS more. So that is not ideal for the McLaren driver, as Nemesis has the tire advantage, has the space apparently, and also has something to attack. 50% for Nemesis against not even 20% for Felix and the hard compound tires. But yeah, it seems like Nemesis has a more low wing setup, which give him the advantage on the straight. But you will see his time lost on sector 2. Finlay with 3-second time penalty, currently sitting in P6. But now Nemesis will gain, and he has to gain if he wants to catch up on Felix. But now Nemesis knows that Felix doesn't have any ERS left. So yeah, he needs to be patient, but he has DRS. Fastest lap for Nemesis, 44.5. These two had a lot of fights in the past weeks, and it seems like they're having another one now.
Nemesis is also the Qatar race to Felix, so he's gonna try for his redemption here in Belgium. As he approaches the DRS now, he's gonna go insanely quick, side by side into the camera straight. Nemesis pulls ahead, so Felix just needs to follow into the combo. And if Nemesis is indeed using a low downforce setup, he's gonna have a lot of understeer, which is gonna be even worse because of the tire wear. So Felix just needs to stay close to him and wait for the next DRS.
The best thing for Felix to do is to stay within the 1 second of Nemesis and pull a gap behind, so he can just try and concentrate on the guys in front as much as possible, because his advantage will pay off at the end of the race, there where it matters most. But Jeremy is 1.1 behind, so he is just about not in the DRS range, but the detection zone will come soon, but it doesn't seem like he is getting DRS. No, he is not. So Felix is still right behind Nemesis, so he will probably retake the position on the Camel Straight. And Jeremy needs to be very careful, because there are two Haas drivers with Foles and Finlay, who's done brilliantly, a bit unexpected, and somehow he is in P5. And there it is, Felix against Nemesis. Fight for the lead once again, but Nemesis is covering off. But no, Felix retakes the lead of the race. Now let's all go a bit behind. PC really in the pits. So a disaster race for him. Yeah, Immortal is disconnected once again, so not really the best race for him. And there is PC Willy retiring from the race. The race leader of the start is now DNF, and there is Pinky going a bit wide there. And Shomu sneaks himself through. Yeah, let's look in front, because Jeremy doesn't seem like that he has the best pace during the course of his medium stint. Doesn't have ERS either, so yeah, he's losing a lot of pace. And this can be a good signal for Finlay. Maybe he can try to pass him. Just to make sure that he can stay with the guys in front. But Jeremy doesn't want to give up without any sort of fight. He still have DRS from Foles. But there you go, Finlay down up the hill is already past the Red Bull, and now with DRS open for both of them. But Finlay is up into P4. Can Jeremy make something? Not, at least not yet. And yeah, it's a P3 and P4 for Team Haas. Nemesis is again in the lead of the race in front of Felix on lap 14 out of 22. So it's yeah.
Foles did a wonderful job
yeah.
staying to P3, and Finlay also gaining 10 positions. He started in P14, is now in 4th, but Foles, let's remember, he won the race in Division 2, so he has definitely the pace to stay up there and at least fight for the podium if he can quite go for the overtake on Felix and Nemesis, which are stay consistent. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, Finlay's race is a bit underrated until now. As you said, he gained 10 places starting in P14. Now finding himself right behind his teammate in P4. And he is effectively fighting for the win. So yeah, the DRS train is still underway. Nemesis leading the pack with Felix, Foltz and Finlay, and Jeremy following up. Now we will see if Felix can try a move on the Ferrari. He has managed to recharge his battery for a bit. He's again up in 40% of ERS, but he stays in second place, currently right behind Nemesis, as Jeremy is struggling, but he stays there in 5th place. He's struggling, and you can see it with the lap times and the delta showing up. So he's not having, in terms of pace, the best races, but he's still in P5. His teammate in P10. We need to consider that because of the Constructors' Championship is still open, and yeah, for Team McLaren, Phantom is out after on lap 1 incident at Radion, and Felix in 2nd place, taking until now a margin of 18 points for Team McLaren, but the race isn't over yet.
Attempting a move on his teammate. They're going side by side through Basto. Finlay just tried to send it down the insider, and he had a great exit. They're going side by side also in the first DRS. So who's gonna be ahead after the source? Finlay goes a little bit wide. The medium tire is starting to show off. So Jeremy gaining a few tenths. We might be able to see even 4 cars just staying so close to each other at the camera straight with the DRS. Top 5 is staying very close to each other, although Finlay has the 3-second time penalty, but he will just drop down to P5. And as I thought, Marco also gets a penalty. But yeah, those mediums are definitely showing some signs of tire wear, and that's not great news if they want to continue for 6 more laps.
Yeah, probably the first cliff is on for the medium. They probably will be at around 35% or something. Jeremy with 3-second time penalty. Not ideal for him, but he is still on the pack. And Immortal also grabs 3 seconds, currently sitting in P11 for him.
So Jeremy right now with the penalty has to fight on track to get that P4 from Finlay. But now Nemesis still has to defend the first position from Felix. Felix will have the faster tires, he already has the faster tires, but he's not quite catching up yet. And he now has 6 laps to do so.
So we're going into lap 17 out of 22, so 6 laps to go for the drivers here. 6 laps to decide by how much we are going into Abu Dhabi for the championship decider, as Felix is again on the outside line of Nemesis and repasses him and takes the lead once more, as Force is maybe trying to take some advantage, but doesn't work out for him, as he is also on the hard compound tires. So if the mediums will run down in terms of performance, Force will also see it in terms of pace, as Finlay grabs another 3-second time penalty.
Yeah, he's into 6 seconds now, which is still P5 since Jonathan is 6 seconds away from Jeremy. But still, if Jeremy doesn't get any penalties, he will go up into P4. The yellow flags, someone spun. Who is it? It's Blackberry.
Blackberry Hall. Blackberry Hall. So the Aston Martin drops down the order in P12.
He has no front wing.
Oh, they crashed into the wall. Yes, he did. So no wing for Blackberry Hall. So he needs to pit now. Foles has a look down the inside. And yeah, Nemesis will probably repass Felix. Yeah, not a big deal. As Blackberry Hall retired from the session, also Foles sneaked himself through. So he used the DRS and the slipstream from Nemesis, and now Felix is down into P3, which only would give him 15 points, which would mean that he would still be 10 points behind of Kart Racer going into Abu Dhabi. So he needs to do something to retake second, or maybe in best case to take the win home.
This is great battling so far, and the top 3 is very wide open. Oh, Felix got off the track, just cutting the corner completely.
Finland did some mistake there, which has been used by Jeremy, who is now up into P4, Jonathan, with 3-second time penalty. So yeah, the fight for P3 is still on. Obviously P4, P5 are also there, but they have the penalty, which affect the fight for a little bit. But if we look in front, none of them has a penalty, and I hope they don't get one, because this is the fun part here, to see them race for positions on track. Foles is half a second away from Nemesis, and it can be a good distance to make a move. Felix has to follow up. He is a bit too far away, to be fair. But now Foles takes the slipstream, going for the outside line, but he makes the move done even before the braking zone. And Foles is now the leader of this race, and Marco lost it. It is a virtual. Marco has lost it at the exit of Radillon, exact the point where Phantom has lost it at the start of the race. So we are now down to 10 drivers, so points for everyone. But it's a virtual, it's not a full course safety car, it's a virtual with 3 laps to go. It's now green lights again.
Felix is staying just below 2 tenths behind Nemesis, but he's not enjoying his position so far. P3 is not enough for him, he needs to aim for that win, and Foles win Division 2. He's gonna try to do that again here in Division 1, but that is not at all what Felix needs. He needs to gain those positions, and he only has 3 laps to do that. So he's gonna have to give it everything. But Jeremy is also getting into the fight, and it's gonna be horrible news for Felix.
Felix
he's not fighting for the position.
Felix pulled down the inside of Nemesis, taking second place at the bus stop and having DRS to defend from Foles. And now it is the opportunity. Now there's the chance. Nemesis dropping down the order, down to P3. There are 3 wide going all the way to Eau Rouge, but they backed off everyone. So Nemesis is still in 3rd place, but he is now 9/10 behind. That will be effective for Felix to make a move done on Foles as Jeremy gets past Nemesis. So this race is still still going in a very interesting way. Now Felix is again in the lead of the race, Foles follow him, and now Jeremy, who has been a bit under radar after the safety car restart. But now he is up into third place. We need to remember he has the 3 seconds, so he won't stay in third place as it stands. But now falls in second. He needs to try and stay in range, but Felix now is pushing. You can see that 8/10, he's gaining and gaining. 3 laps to go. 3 laps to go. Oh, yeah, it's nearly 2 laps. We are running down on lap 21. Second to last lap of this Grand Prix. With Felix in the lead, which would mean we will have a tie going into Abu Dhabi, but it's still 2 laps and we've seen everything can happen. Everyone can pass everyone on this track. Foles is 6/10 behind. Felix has a lot of ERS right now. He's charged a lot in the last 10 laps. But maybe Felix wants Foles to pass him. Foles doesn't use DRS and he stays behind. He's trying something. He's trying to make a move on the last lap of this Grand Prix as Jeremy Nemesis went side by side after the camera straight, but Jeremy holds off third place. But now it's the interesting part. 1.5 laps to go. Felix in the lead, Foles in second. Then there's Jeremy, who is more concerned about Nemesis behind as Foles in front. But yeah, Finlay in 5th place. He is still there in the pack, but has 6 seconds and nearly lost it on the curb. Immortal passes Jonathan. Maybe Jonathan with a switchback. No, he doesn't manage to do it, but he maybe manages now as Immortal closes the doorway too late and Jonathan runs into the back of Immortal. This will be probably something for after the race for the stewards, but let's see in front, because it's 1 lap to decide if we're going on a tie or if Kart Racer holds off a 7-point gap for Abu Dhabi. Foles is half a second in front. Jeremy is a bit he is actually out of DRS, so he can't attack Foles and Felix in front. But now Felix is using every percentage of his battery. But let's see. Is he gaining? But he's a bit too far away. He's having a look, but he was indeed too far away. But now Felix just has to hold this one last time, this lap, to take the 25 points. Foles is following him up, and Nemesis is third, 1.5 seconds away. Probably will stay there if he doesn't crash out. As their Finlay is in P4, he makes the move down on Jeremy, who is... Oh, Jeremy has wing damage, apparently. Jeremy has wing damage, but let's have a look in front, because this is where it matters most. Now it is Felix versus Foles. One last time for the last real overtake opportunity for Foles, but he is a bit too far away and doesn't have any ERS left. This could be this could be decisive for Felix. He needed that win, and as it stands, he's taking the win. One last time for the bus stop chicane. Now very cautious on the throttle, and X Felix 1 wins the Belgium Grand Prix, and it is indeed a tie for Abu Dhabi, as Kart Racer and Felix will go on tie points into the last race of the season. Both will be on 180 points. And yes, the optimal race, or the optimal condition for the finale is set. And what a race this has been. Finlay driver of the day. You can like it or not. Well, Felix wins, grabs the 25 points, and yes, Foles has done everything he could, but it wasn't enough at the end. So Felix had to deliver, and he delivered indeed, with Nemesis completing the podium. So yes, we go again through the final results. Felix grabs 25 points of this Grand Prix, as Foles finish up in second place, Nemesis in P3, Finlay in P4 after have fantastic race for him, Jeremy in P5, NLR Immortal in P6, Kevin in P7, Pinky in P8, Shamul in P9, Jonathan completes the top 10, and then Marco, Blackberry Hall, PC Willy, Pocho, and Phantom Fox from P11 to P15, everyone DNF'd. So yeah, we have the optimal condition for a season finale. It's Kart Racer versus Felix to decide who will be the champion of season 11. It was a pleasure to commentate again for you this race. Thank you for Gabriel to join me once again. And yeah, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, just a quick update on the constructor standings, because right now, if there isn't any stewards decision changing up the results, McLaren will have a 27 points gap to Red Bull. So we're gonna have a very exciting fight both in the drivers and constructors championship in Abu Dhabi, and I hope you're gonna be here in the stream watching it with us to decide who's gonna be the champion. In the meanwhile, there's gonna be the Division 2 finale in Wednesday, commentated by Felix, which me and Sally will drive for, and we expect you to see you again on Saturday for the Season 11 Division 1 Championship finale.
Yes, so there is still everything on the board for the Yas Marina circuit, and yeah, I'm glad you joined for today's race here on Belgium, and see you, at least for us to see you on Saturday for the season finale of F1 Total Division 1 Season 11. See you next time. Bye bye.